Hi, hello, welcome back, my little root vegetables. If you're new here, my name is Mindy and I am Brooke. I left my cushy remote office job in April of this year, and I think maybe in July I started this YouTube channel. Definitely didn't expect to start making millions of dollars. I also am not even expecting to make thousands of dollars, but I did have hopes that maybe it would grow a little bit quicker than it did. I'm currently at 10 subscribers on YouTube, which I am so thankful to each and every one of you. That's so sweet. And I think I've got 50 followers on TikTok. But those are low numbers that are not going to be making me any money. So it looks like maybe I need to either get a job or explore different avenues. I previously did have an Etsy page. It was mostly drop shipping. It was my own designs on like stickers and phone cases, but I had received two different cease and desist orders. So I had to take everything out of my shop, and so it's empty. There's nothing in there right now. But at its height, it was doing well, maybe like $50 a month, which like in profit. So I think that's pretty good. So I think what I'm going to do today is maybe instead of doing drop shipping, I'm going to make some prototypes for some new items to go into the shop. So if you watched last week's episode, video, whatever you want to call it, you saw that I made this little guy. This is my doorstop. But this guy is sparking so much joy in my heart that I think maybe I'm going to take this same design and shrink it down maybe into like a keychain or perhaps a coin purse. I think it would be really good as a coin purse. So I'm going to make one of those today. And then I also have some of this fabric here. I think it's like IKEA washcloth or tea towel or something. I'm not sure, but I think it would be cool as a bookmark. If I cut these out, I've got some green felt to go on the back. So I don't know. I'm going to try that out, see what that looks like. And I guess just kind of start there. I am going to start with the coin purses first. So I've got some paper here. I'm going to do just kind of a rough pattern sketch and see what that looks like. Okay, so I'm thinking kind of wallet sized, and then it folds over. So like this is the front flap, you would open that up and your money would go inside here. But the face would be on the flap. I think that's a good idea. I'm gonna try something else and then see how that goes. Option 2 is it's a little bit longer and there's a zipper in the back. So that way the front is one whole piece with the face and then the back has a zipper. The only issue is I don't have any zippers and I would have to buy some in order to try this. So I think the best idea for today at least would be to do the one that's folded over, because I probably have a magnet or a snap closure to do this, but I don't have a small zipper. I went ahead and made a pattern for the coin purse. I wanted something a little bit more sturdy than this flimsy brown paper. So we've got it on cardstock. And so this would be connected on the sides, but this is a pretty basic, this would have the face on the front. You'd open it and that's where your things would be. I'm thinking maybe to add a key ring on the side so that way you could like attach it to your keys, or you could attach it inside your purse. I know some purses have like hooks, or just, I don't know. That's long-term thoughts. But for now, I think that this looks pretty good. Because this is just a prototype, I don't want to use any of my fun patterned fabric. So I just have some blank green that I'm going to trace this over, cut it out, and sew it together. The sewing machine is loud, so I will see you again once it is cut and sewed. Right, so I have sewn it together. I didn't have any snaps or magnets, but I did have some Velcro. And I think it gets the job done to just kind of, while I'm testing it out. I did also add in the key ring with just like a scrap piece of ribbon. This does not look great, but I do feel like there is potential here. Let's see. Yeah, a phone does not fit. That's okay. Cards do, cash, coins, various other things you may need to put in here. So yeah, I think this is a good start. I think maybe the colors are a bit off, so it's hard to see the mouth. That's okay. I do think it needs some structure to it. It is very like flat and flimsy, but I've got some batting that I can use to give it that structure. But like I said, this was just a prototype. I just wanted to kind of see how it would work, if it would work. I think so. I do think there's potential here to actually make them. So I'm going to say yes to this one, and now I'm going to try to make those bookmarks. All right, so I have 3 different ones that I've been looking at. I've got big broccolis, little broccolis, and some root vegetables. I see the biggest potential in the root vegetables, but there are only 10, 10, and if it works, I don't want to ruin the 10 that I have. So I think the best idea would be to try it out on these little broccolis. I have the most of them that are available. So I think I'm going to cut it out, sew it onto the felt, and then see what that looks like. All right, so that was incredibly quick and incredibly easy to do. So that is going to get a pass, like a yes pass from me. I think in the future I might do a black thread instead of the white thread because this whole thing is outlined in black. So I will just follow the outlines of the vegetables. Okay, so I am going to work on making the wallet a little bit more structured, just make it look a little bit nicer. This is a really good first attempt prototype. And then for the bookmarks, I'm going to change the thread and work on those root vegetables. But let me know, how much would you guys pay for these? I'm thinking like $2, $10. I don't know. You let me know. But thank you so much for watching if you've made it all the way here. I put out new videos every Thursday. Next week is Halloween, right? So next week will be a little Halloween special. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.